Religion was always a means to an end. Mom would take us to church offering free discarded fruits, vegetables so she could make a fruit salad or stew to get us through the next week. More times than not, we'd get home, start taking off our only good clothes, and she'd say, "Don't you buy anything they tell you." That pastor didn't know shit about the Bible. We were every denomination at least once. I didn't really want religion or church or Jesus until I was told I couldn't have it. That's why Bob ran his hands through his hair, tried to shake out the words. That's why I have to ask you not to come back to the college group. Every girl, and I'm sure a couple of guys besides me, had a crush on Bob. That's the curse of being the youth pastor. He's everything you think you want because you don't really know what you want. I had brought a strawberry pie from the restaurant I worked at. Bob said how thoughtful I was. He loved strawberry pie. He was glad I could come over for dinner. Okay, I said. What else could I say? I'm almost aged out anyways. I'm going to be 25 next year. But Bob cut me off before I could follow up. JD, you can't not just come back to the youth group. You can't come back to Grace. He didn't say the church. He said its name. You can't come back to Grace. Is this what breaking up felt like? Was I breaking up with Jesus? Bob looked a bit the part. Surfer, long, sun-kissed hair, olive skin. He's Italian. Pained eyes. One comfort. He hated this as much as I did. Or at least I think he did. The Air Force. Grace. Another church the next year. The most famous gay man on the planet was Matthew Shepard, who died strapped to a fence, alone and beaten. They said we were broken, pointed to all the suicides, AIDS, the murdered boy. Gay men live risky lives because they don't care about living, they'd say. He had followed two men who offered him a chance to not be alone, a chance to hold something beside himself. I got off work early, showered, changed twice, touched up the whipped cream around the edges of the pie. I knew it wasn't a date, but I wanted it to be. I wanted Bob to say he understood how alone I must have felt, and he and Jesus loved me. Oh, I could feel myself breaking. But I couldn't there, not in front of him. I'm going to go. Keep the pie. Who could I call? My friend would say, I told you so. Religion is for idiots. My sister would say, how could they do this to her little brother? Jesus? Why? I'm in a tan Camry. The driver's window is open because my brother broke the window. Why? It's so dramatic. The crying, the snot, my fingers gripping the wheel. Why? I'm losing it, sobbing, but thinking maybe Bob will come out and offer me some comfort, a hand on the shoulder, something. Nada. The porch light went out before the ignition went on. They called me pastor at Osan in Korea, Father T at Ninjalek. I led a nightly prayer at basic training. When I came out to Chaplain Reyes, he gave me a tape of Dennis Jernigan, a Christian worship leader who turned from a life of homosexuality to get married and have a dozen kids. Said, "You're good, Isip. You don't have to let this thing ruin your life." I understand Dennis Jernigan would want to convert. It's a means to an end. It gets you through. But if you manage to live past it, if the military discharge, the date nights with pastors, and the suicide attempts, and the months of rehab all don't stick, I think you'll hear Jesus say, "You're good. You don't have to let this thing ruin your life. Most of these people don't know shit about me."